All right.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are.
But
Welcome
not
to
not goodbye yet.
no, uh, welcome to BeoTalk 311. Uh, as per
Another week
usual,
gone by.
yeah. As per usual, come join our Discord if you have any more in-depth questions and/or topics and/or weirdness going on that you can't ask us live because the YouTube comments aren't always shown to me for some reason. Uh, go
Do the
buy some.
shilling.
Yeah, go buy something at Skinny Play. Use the link and the promo, and you get 10% off, which is always good. Uh, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. It helps. Hope you're having a good summer because fuck all is happening other than at work.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Well, the app has gotten quite a few updates, so that's good.
That is happening actually, for sure. I finally was able to get mine updated.
I'm on
So,
6.2 now.
oh really?
Yeah, and what is nice about that is that I can access my 50s again.
So by the time I moved, I should be having 6.2, and I should be able to access my 90s then.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. Also, the difference between 6.0, no, what was it? 6.1.240 or something and 6.2. God, the speed is improved.
In what way?
Just loading pages. You know how you press the bottom left, right, for all your stuff to come on your phone?
Yeah,
In 6.1, you literally saw blank and then, like, sort of thinking and populates whatever you had.
I'm trying to pull up the app, but oh, there we
And
go. Yeah.
on 6.2, it's just like, whoop, it's all there. It's just in one straight sweep.
So it's almost like it loads, I guess, much proper.
Yeah, because the 6.1 version was doing the sort of thinking thing every time you touched that bottom left thing. Even if you just pulled it up, pulled it down,
Hmm.
and pulled it up again, it would do the thinking thing again.
Okay, well, I'm sharing the screen so we can show it because I'm 6.1.
Uh, let me see if I got. Okay. Yeah, so like visually, not much has changed. But that for me, anyway, on iPhone would always have like a semi delay of showing something.
No, this is pretty quick on here.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot more functional now. There's I think still some bugs going on here and there, but uh,
People are complaining about the remote that they shaved the shit out of it, but I don't see. Well, I understand why. Like there should be yellow, green, red, and blue for sure.
pause play would be nice.
Yeah, but it because they rely everything on select, which works when you're just using like I'm using the TV with no external puck dependent devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a bug where I have no source under music, and it shows all of my it shows all the sources obviously on the panel, and these are all embedded right in the
Yeah,
as an app. So this control makes complete sense for that.
yeah. But there is more room on the screen to add a few
Oh yeah,
extra
hell yeah.
buttons.
Of course there's way more room on the screen because there should have been this should have been moved little, like there should have been another row of buttons, or maybe two buttons, stop and play,
Yeah,
and then put the home and back. And I think it should have been, if you're right-handed, it works better if the back is on this side and home is on this side, because you press with your thumb on the app when you have your phone in your right hand. You press more back than you press home.
Also, on the actual remote, the back is on the left, isn't it? And the home button is on the other side.
Yes.
It's like they didn't have a remote to look at.
God, it is still fact. Just for the people that don't believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they almost got it right. And with the diamond, I think the diamond should have been, I don't want to start out like freaking negative about it, first 5 minutes into the podcast, but
it's pretty instant, the results on the screen.
But it is snappy. I like it. I like it. I just like, there's a couple things that you guys, maybe it works on some, maybe it doesn't work on others. I have rebooted the device before we came online. So it's not my remote, not my phone that may not load the app correctly or whatever. But everything else other than that is this should be gone. This should be replaced by Signal Info. But in my opinion, Signal Info should just be here in the top corner, or not top corner, but top. Like have a Dolby Digital logo, whatever the fucking codec is. There is a logo for that codec, right? We agree on that. So why not just have that running on the top of the thing, like you have
it can
on
even
the A5,
be like a rolling banner or something with.
But even if it just says DTS, right? Whatever, it's a DTS, or in Dolby Atmos it says Atmos, like whatever. Like in the same fashion, more or less, that the A5 BeoSound A5 has when you pull down and it shows the battery, like the level shows the battery, and I think that would make more sense than you going back into the all the time into the settings and sound info, and it's too much to click on. Or Signal Info, sorry.
Alex says that on the iPad, if you use it in was it landscape mode, that it doesn't work, but in portrait mode it does. That's probably a bug. Report that if anybody else has that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of a good reason why that would be impaired, other than it's an oversight. I also think still it's an oversight of if you don't have a stand, that you don't get the remote, because it's not stand related at all. It's LG related.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
So I think that's another bug.
But I still wonder why they didn't just copy the interface from the BeoSound stage with the touchpad and all that, right? Like, it had my buttons on it. Which I guess, to their logical defense, like, yeah, you come out of the remote to press your my buttons in the main screen. So have them here would be duplicated and having pages and pages of whatever. But they still should have put play stop button on here, because they should have made it at least like mediocre puck compatible, and these buttons here.
Do you still see on the sound mode on the main page? No. Yeah, you do when you click on it, but not when you like.
No, if something's playing, no, you don't see that. You don't see it. If it's in optimal or direct, I can see, but most of mine are at 0, so I can't see. The night one you could tell because it would turn green.
I think they lost some real estate to the remote icon.
Oh, 100%.
And that's why it doesn't show, but it would be nice if the colors were there. Or at least a little ball moved around.
Well, it would. Like if I put it to night listening, and like that it's at night. If you
it's just that everything is otherwise is black for you.
I have everything is at 0, right?
Yeah.
I more or less go here to play with stuff, which now I can because it saves it. Sweet.
I did watch a movie last week, or film last week, in direct mode.
Okay.
And it's kind of amazing how much true image collapses it to the center on everything.
Yes.
Like, and for me, it's not a huge difference because I have so many speakers. But if you have like a 5.1 system, I can kind of see why that is not optimal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't have a super wide stereo pairing.
or have a triangle setup?
Yeah, so I just made a new film or movie preset in direct mode, and I haven't played with it any further yet. But it's
Yeah, I have. What do I have in direct
it's
mode?
really literally from like sound is coming there, there, and there. Like even the center gets muddled, but like even the left and right gets pulled to the center quite a bit.
I think this one. Yeah, they all go to direct now. The cat's tripping out. Okay, never mind. We can see it in the back. Chasing shit. But yeah. I don't know why I have two. No, I have one direct mode.
I mean, I still, for the life of me, can't get that image to show up for the theater.
This?
Yeah, it's still broken as hell, but I still need to redo everything. So I'll probably factory reset it. But one of the biggest pains in the asses with so many speakers is a factory reset.
Oh, with the speakers, it sucks.
Especially since 6 of them are on WISE at the moment.
Yeah,
So
6
it's
of
like,
them sucks.
So everything will lose connection, and then you'll have to like take caps off and shit, and press the like connect button and nonsense again, and they're all on the fucking ceiling.
No. If they factory reset, they lose connection. They'll be in pairing mode.
Yeah, but for how long?
15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that the theater can factory reset itself in that time.
Yeah, you can do it under 5. Like to be connected back to the speakers.
I'll hold you to it then.
Yeah, man. I've done it before. And if you leave them alone, it's it reconnects. It reconnects. Like even the 18s that I took from the shop here, that I had the front stereos, I never removed them from the Harmony software or from the Harmony speaker groups and connection. I just came home, I reset them, connected them to the theater, and after that weekend, I reset them again, and then I brought them to the shop, put them down, power them up. They were blinking in pairing mode, and I turned on the bloody Harmony, and they went red, and boom! All of a sudden, they went green, and they were in their rear surround rolls. So that address of the WISA address of the speaker individually is remembered on the TV as well. I didn't know. I found that out literally when I had those speakers, when I took them back, and I think I reported on it the following podcast. Oh, the cat's going hamsters, bro. It's funny, after like 6 years of laughing at you, now I got this shit going on.
You were so adamant that you were never gonna have a cat.
I know. I'm never gonna have a cat, but it's a cutie. It's a worth a while to have her over. She's just loving the dog, I guess. Anyways, should I add a BeoTalk 19 to your setup? To which one, in your bedroom?
No, to my living room.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Where would you put it?
I don't know.
I would put it under the coffee table.
Near the cat bowls. So they can have some tunes.
Fuck. I don't know. Put it under a coffee table. I don't think it makes any, like, it doesn't even make sense, bro. With 250s, it makes no sense. I think you're going to impede more negatively on the performance of the bass than improving it and helping it by any measure with the extra 19 fucking hobbling around 250s or 450s.
I mean, eventually it'll probably go into my bedroom, I guess. But I'm still waiting for your package.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I've been looking at it today. It's sitting right here. It disappeared into the baseboards because it's white. I just fucking it sat here. I thought of it today. Like, I gotta send it out.
It's fine. Again, I'm not in a hurry. Like the living room is like this close to done. Finally,
nice.
Like the last windowsill is in. I put the hood vent in. Like the range hood, the thing above, because like I've been cooking for a year without like any like ventilation above it.
Fuck.
It's an open kitchen to a pretty large living room. So actually,
Yeah, but you don't fry a lot though, right? Like it's not, or do you?
not really, but also we have massive sliding doors that are open half the day for the cats so they can
Mm.
go outside. So, I mean, I guess I'm aiding to global warming because, like, I'm cooling the outside air with our AC.
Yeah, but how much are the radiators pull out?
Yeah. So, anyway, the hood vent, the kitchen is essentially finally. It only took like a year. It's now done. The living room is essentially done. I just have to like paint some trim and caulk some things,
Nice.
and then we're done. So I can now add a 19 to the party because it's just been sitting here for like a year and a half, literally doing nothing.
Yeah, but where would you put it? Like to do it with a 19. That setup, I don't think it makes sense in your room. I would put it with the 18s in the bedroom.
Uh, God,
People have no
the
battery
level
level.
has lost the battery level again.
They leveled it?
Apparently in the app. I guess this is one thing to get used to, right? Like things they fix, they'll break again in newer
Mm-hmm.
updates. And I don't know if that's because they're like making parallel, like one up is not the same team as the thing that comes up, same as the one team as the one that comes after.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like two teams like doing steps like that. But it's kind of weird that things that get broken get fixed, then get broken again.
But could it also be that the app platform that they're using is no longer supported by Microsoft, that it's discontinued?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not functional.
No, fair enough.
I
I
mean,
think that it's just the age of the app, man. It's 27th of November 2016 when it
look,
was
Windows
introduced.
7 still works, right? And that's also not supported.
Yeah, but they got boss loads of people working on it, not four dudes or however many. Let's give them 10.
I think the app team in total is like 50 people now, or at least the
Shiitake mushrooms,
software
man.
people. Like it
Then
used
is
to
it
be
that
four.
bad? Then is it that bad with the software, like the app itself, that 50 people can't fix it, or they can't agree on how to fix it?
I have a feeling several things are going on, right? Like the factories in Struer, then they don't ever really see the people in Copenhagen because that's where the new head office is. Then I
Well,
think
that's a big disconnect.
the quality assurance team I think is in Hungary. So like
Out of
nobody
all the
ever
places.
physically sits next to each other unless they like fly out.
Fudge. Yeah, that makes no sense.
I mean, so it's the same with like, where's it? Where's one of the major Is it Croatia or something?
No,
With
Czech Republic.
yeah, sorry, Czech. I was blank. Czech Republic. Like again, the other factories in Struer, right? Like, so how often do people from Struer go to the Czech Republic that then also need to go to Copenhagen?
No, it's the other way. The people from Czech Republic go to Struer for training.
Sure, but that's
That's about
what
it.
once a year, twice a year, maybe.
Yeah, I guess depends on how many new products come out.
Yeah, but it just I don't even
But
mean that in terms of like products, right? But just not. There is a difference when like you can sit next to each other. Yes, Zoom is handy for a lot of things,
mhm.
but I can never really in real life show you the experience and the frustration of not being able to go into like your 50s if you don't have them also sitting there and have the exact same issue.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. But I see it in the shop. We can't control them other than you go to the config page, right? Like you, and luckily that you have the blessing of an IP address, because otherwise you'd be done. There's no way.
Yeah,
If that
this
was
is partially why I kept with 50s and 17s, right? Because they're smart enough to be dumb enough that you can always operate them. Look, if you couldn't, if the same app thing happened with like 28s or 8s, Like, there's no way to log into them.
No. I just the app now has become the most important part of their portfolio, because no matter how much people spend on whatever they spend on, if they can't control it or use it, then that whole experience is just completely ruined.
Well, another thing that, yes, the app is very important, but because of, naturally, you're going to have bugs, right? And I don't think anybody's automatically annoyed with bugs and that sort of thing.
Oh man, she finally found out the floor stand is cool.
But one of the things with bug reporting is now you have to communicate with people internally, but also externally, with customers saying like XYZ is shit, bad, whatever. And they don't really like to communicate with people. They never have, right? Like, it's always been sort of take it or leave it.
It was always very introverted. But,
yeah, and that's not the greatest customer experience for like bug reporting.
Yeah, that's not the way to get the feedback.
I mean, I'm not saying become super American company about it. Like, oh, I feel your pain, this, that, and the other, right? Like, you also don't have to do that. But like, as soon as you report something, you can bet your bloody life on it. You're going to get an email back asking for, like, could you explain it again? Which is really fucking annoying, right? Because it's like, oh, you're not able to read. It's like, let's say you stub your toe and you go, ow, and I ask what's happened, and you say, I stubbed my toe, and then I go, could you explain that again in different words? Like, you're gonna just be annoyed at me.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking with me?
And their solution is, well, you should watch your step.
Yeah.
Basically. So no, I just I don't know. For me, yeah, like they're complete disconnect with understanding the installations of these speakers and equipment that we do. Not all the speakers are within the reach.
No.
They're not all sitting on a nice little pedestal thing or a floor stand and whatever, away from the dude's ears and shit, like it's in the catalog. No, man. Sometimes they're 12 feet up on the wall, because that's where the only place is that they can be put and installed. Still sound great, but good luck rebooting those, right? At that point, we just label the breakers in the house to, like,
Speaking of which, Sandeep says, oh, I bet I could trump anybody with my current customer service story. I shall tell the story to the best of my abilities.
Okay.
Sandeep has 50s, right? And he is back to the point where the lenses just stay up when he turns everything off. As far as I'm aware, they still function. However, he then asked for a technician to come by to check it out, like what's going wrong, right? Because it worked fine for like a month before, and then it happened again, and now it's before it was also fine. So nothing in the setup has changed other than software. So you call your dealer. Your dealer doesn't have no dealer in London has a service technician anymore.
What do you mean they don't have a service technician?
They have installers. They don't have service technicians. So if you buy something, that will be installed. If you need service, that's a different bloke.
And he no more around.
There's none. You call a special B&O number, and then you're supposed to get service within 2 days.
They fly out of Danish Jesus.
It turns out that due to the vacation and high demand, that takes a week or 3.
Oh my God.
Actually, it gets worse. It turns out that this is not available anyway, because his app is on the beta. If anything runs beta anything, you get a beta service technician. But nobody knows who that is. Not even HQ.
Okay, so they just have a position that you didn't even fill yet, more or less.
Yeah, but that also means you get no service.
Yep.
Because headquarters is aware of this change, and that's it. That's sort of where they leave it hanging. So good luck. We'll see you when we
Yeah,
see you.
quite honestly, like I guess Montreal is very lucky because they have me and they have Etienne. Like there's two in-house technicians that
But you can't do it.
the what?
You can't service anybody because you're not the beta service technician.
Oh, dude, at this point, as a shop, that would be a fuck off card. Like we're going in to fix the issue, doesn't matter, and it's gonna get fixed.
Yes, but
That's
that's on the shop. That's not on the warranty in that case.
there would be some arguments, I'm sure, but no, there's no way that we would have let it just bleed dry like that. First of all, second of all, there's no way. There's no way by the laws we have here you can fuck around like that, man. And that's also
Okay,
what probably they don't understand that
it's in Europe as well. Like the only country where I could see this happening like this is the US. But apparently, you sign away your general service technician rights if you go on anything beta. Because his 50s aren't on beta, his theater isn't on beta software, it's his app.
that's bullshit. So then get off the app, I guess. Somebody, you probably have, or can you not? I would just get out the beta. And for some reason, you will never be able to rejoin. It's just a one-way ticket, man. It's like I don't understand. It's been since the call we had, so 2 weeks. I've got no response from to like go back to the beta. It says that I'm in the beta, but I'm on a 6.0 or 6.11 app, whatever it is. So, and none of my stuff is in beta as far as the theater.
So, what would you do if anybody calls you, like, hey, my stuff, I run the beta app, can you, and it doesn't work, give me some warranty, and Denmark says, no, you can't.
Personally, if I got that call, I would tell them, dude, just get the fuck off the beta. First of all, just let's do that. Let's restart, reset everything, and let's see if it fixes it. Because is it worth for you to be the beta, the explorer, or having your system work properly, right? That's the trade-off. And for me, like I have to say, dude, I'm knocking goddamn wood. I got nothing wrong with my theater and the way the speakers work, whatever. I don't really listen to that much music though, but if I do, she does every now and then flip out on the Deezer.
Yeah. I have a feeling this is, again, one of these policy decisions within the company that only a few people know about. It's somewhere in the system that shows up as a checklist, but nobody really knows what it is. And then it turns out you're hooped when, like, anything goes wrong.
That's a pretty sticky trap. No, I don't like that. But I would definitely, if I had that issue with the client, but none of our clients are crazy enough to go to beta. Maybe Stefan, but that's about it. But that's a person that has a background and understanding of how the apps are. But yeah, but he has a full understanding of how the apps work. Having been the guy that actually wrote a few and sold them. So normal people that I like, do you think that I would go to a 65-year-old dude's house and put him on a fucking beta with a theater that he just bought and tries to understand how the remote works? And then, no, here's a pot, poof, done. That's it. It's nice and solid. Make sure all the cables work, especially test the network wire from the inbox in the theater because I don't trust those no more. And that's it. Somebody said on the Discord they've changed an HDMI cable to a better cable, and apparently it made a huge difference, or a marginal to significant difference. I don't remember the exact words for this acoustics. Because at the end, I don't understand how they would do that because it's all zeros and ones at the end of the day coming through the pipe anyhow, right? There's no
Yeah.
so
Unless it's a very shitty cable, I guess, but
that could be the case, right? I'm still using the original one, but once I move, I'm gonna probably replace it. I do have one, but this is too long. I have a couple short ones, I think, in the storage, but that's the AudioQuest Pearl.
mm-hmm.
But there is also one that is like $350 for a 1 meter length. The Black Diamond or whatever they call them. Like that's a little too steep for my appetite.
Yeah.
But I would like to know what the difference is in the sound. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know, Sunday. But I would get off the bloody beta if you can, because there's obviously an issue like a son of a bitch with all that.
Yeah, it makes me very nervous since my dealer is in the Netherlands, right? Like it's like Sandeep's dealer is far away. Like mine is really fucking far away. And even if I ask somebody local, it's like Orlando, Sarasota, which
Yeah,
is
but do
like
they know even what to do?
probably not if it's beta. Like I also don't understand how a physical problem with the thing going up and down, right? Like is software related necessarily. Also, if that was the case, if it is software related, you would think that they would log into your device immediately. They want to ask, can you give us access? You know, what you do in the app. And then just look at like logs and stuff and go clickety clack and it's fine again if it's just software. So, yeah, I don't know what to make of this other than it's kind of alarming.
Mm-hmm.
Because they happily ask you to join beta because it helps everybody. But if the downside of helping them is essentially, yeah, your service is going to suck in case you need something. It's like there's no upside in that case, right? Because you're willing to run potentially more unstable software to help them and report bugs back to them. And the upside is that your service potentially is hooped. There's
Well,
no
that's fucked up
upside.
that your beta basically voids your warranty, is what
Yeah, or it goes into
more
a different
correct
track.
understanding would be.
But it's so weird, right? That this what I would understand if the 50s were running beta software.
If everything was on beta, yes, then I understand. But I still don't, because
But I
it's your
don't
beta
understand
software.
how
Like, it's not
just
something that
your phone app on beta creates this problem for things that are not on beta.
I just don't understand how it goes downstream so bad. Like, is it something that because everything is all cloud based or dependent, that it has a negative effect on it there? You know, I don't know. I can't explain cloud. That's Kamala's job, more or less.
It's
She
everywhere,
explain
man. It's
it's everywhere. The
everywhere.
clouds are great. You don't store it on your computer; you store it in the cloud. That's it. Cottage. So anyhow, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen much weird shit with this with the theater, to be honest with you, here with people. I've had some, poltergeists and whatnot. I more have now issues with the stereo paired products,
Hmm.
and because we don't really find uh the 28s, I guess, appealing in the shop too much, or they're not getting sold much. I see a lot of eights that we go, but I had a service call. Actually, that's an interesting one. I had a service call on Monday, which was 2 hour drive from my house in Tremblant, a
Hmm.
little further than that, and they were complaining that the fucking B&O keeps dropping off and blah blah blah, this and that, and it's not, And I happened to be there on Tuesday morning, and I go through all the B&O. I restarted because everything was hung up. I don't understand how everything was hung up. Right, 10 o'clock rolls around, bro. Lights go like that, and I just hear the diesel engine kick on. I'm like, what is that? And I was like, oh, that's our diesel generator. We just run it once a week to make sure that, like, they apparently had it scheduled to run once a week. uh and I'm like, so how long is it on? 20 minutes. And then what happens? Like, exactly that. It just, the lights go in and out a little bit. Oh fuck. I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, how long has this happened? No, well, since the house is being just like finished, more or less, right? And I'm like, I don't know who the guy is that did that, but I would like it's an emergency generator, right? It's like,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, where's the emergency? Like, if it runs every week for 20 minutes, it f's up all of your electronics in the house, not just B&O, because that has effect on your fridge, your freezer, your micro, everything that has any power draw, that going the 80 to
Yeah, it's not
50-volt
good.
dip is not good at all, man. And you got two sets of 20s, a harmony, A9, and the only thing that stayed online was the BeoSound A5. because
it has a battery.
it's a battery, right? So it doesn't give a shit. But the rest, even that also been dropped, but that's a different story. So, we finally rectified all that, make sure, walking through the app and whatnot, and they're asking, like,
Unless you're going to put
like,
GPSs on all speakers.
but that's not possible because it's all built in granite fucking floors. The speakers more or less sit on the plugs, and no way. So, and then they would complain was about the Wi-Fi, right? Outside. Like, inside is fine. It's ubiquity. It's solid as rock. And outside it's just shit show, right? So I said to him, like, there's only three things that really affect the Wi-Fi distribution in the homes, and one of them is the chicken wire mesh behind the stonework or stone walls, UV coated windows because it's more or less a sheet of metal that is covering the glass, and your in-floor heating.
Yes.
And he goes, "Oh Christ! Well, at least we have 2 out of 3." I'm like, "No." I'm like, what is your influence? Like, "Oh, it's glycol based." I'm like, "That's even worse than electric one. It's the same. Like, it doesn't matter because it just cuts the feed." And I'm like, "I bet you any money if you put the A5 outside and you just have the patio door open, because it's a big fuck off sliding door, right? And the access point is right beside like the corner of it. So I'm like, I bet you any money if you just, open the door and you walk outside, the signal is normal." He's like, "Yeah, as soon as you close the door, it's cut." It's like, "Yeah, so you need to put an access point outside." And the electrician or his contractor was there, so I told him that's what needs to happen here. And somebody needs to look at that fucking generator, bro, because it's gonna cook all the BNO and everything in the house. It's not even good for your routers and stuff, man.
No, it needs to be either off for longer and or on for longer. Like that pause in between, like it can't skip over that much.
No.
Or you need to have a battery backup to bridge the load, because. But also, doesn't their main fuse to the road switch off every time that happens?
Apparently not. I don't know how the fuck it's even made or bypassed or something, dude. I don't know.
Because
it's a small town in Quebec, bro, outside of everything. So
no, I understand, but like if you get power from anywhere, right, and there is a disaster and that thing kicks on, you're just.
I think it's
yeah, but you're feeding to the outside as well. That means like if anybody comes to fix the power lines, like the wire will be live because of the one dude with his generator. So there needs to be
feeds. I think there's a relay that clicks either off the grid, and it just and when it's off, it just pumps into the house. So this is a bypass, goes right through electric, and when it clicks off, that's where the disconnect comes in, and the generators kicks in.
I'm amazed that is allowed to live like that, because that
I
could
think
get
that
stuck.
Whoever set it up doesn't understand how their product is supposed to operate.
Also, I was only aware that, or to my knowledge, you're only supposed to test those things like every 6 months or so.
If even, yeah, and usually if they have a house in Florida, so usually they would be gone for no more than 6 months by law. So why don't you just test it when you come back to see if it's fine, instead of coming back to 4 lap 20 power supplies blown, one in the Eclipse most likely, and one in the A9.
Yeah, that's
just
not
to
good.
Just to start off with, like, come on. I don't understand some of those people. And also the trades are so hard to come by. The further out you go from Montreal or a bigger city in here, the tougher it is to get somebody working for you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It really doesn't matter how much money you have. And trust me, I've seen people with money that could buy my entire fucking family tree and everybody before me that was buried. And they still can't pay
Well, you
enough,
are Slavic
I
by
guess.
birth.
Exactly. So it wouldn't be much. But definitely not like some people. That doesn't matter. If you live far, people are just like, "Fuck you, I don't want to go there." I don't know. I go where the work goes, but I understand the trades, because if you're missing something, a little goofy thing, it's not like I just drive to Home Depot, 20-minute downtime, right? No, man, it's hour and a half at least if you're lucky, and in the winter too. So yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun.
Paul said that on his marble balance, it sounds better than the oak one. It shouldn't, but maybe the sound looks better. Who knows?
Maybe it's just placebo.
Maybe it's new drivers. Maybe, I don't know. They should sound the same.
It could be also that then marble is way heavier and more solid because it's actual piece of rock than
Yeah, but then
having the
it's
wood.
not actually the sound. It's like the stuff you put it on that doesn't vibrate with it.
Hmm.
Because a lot of speakers will sound better if you like press down on them, and you're not actually changing the sound. You're just making them incapable of like resonances.
Resonating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence why the Lab 90s are heavy as fuck. Because they
Yeah.
sit on three little points and they don't move at all. I am so looking forward, dude. I am counting the fucking weeks. I'm counting the weeks of headaches and getting them into my apartment. That's gonna be majestic.
I want to.
Unpack them all. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my 90s come out of the boxes. They better start. They've been sadly locked away for 2 years, man. Over 2 years now. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's sad.
I wonder what the difference is between GVA and non-GVA level and Emerge. I can't find anything hardware-wise that was different, and I kind of want to have a Emerge without the talk smack back. I don't use Google much, but I just don't
I
like it
really
listening.
don't like using Google.
So I have one on the level too. Maybe I'll sell my Emerge and
Like,
the level
I
too.
don't fully hate it, but I kind of hate that if you don't want to use it, you have to like do reach arounds and like you still
Your
have
microphone is off.
yeah, and
What?
you still have to use the Google app to essentially say my sleep period is like from let's say 12 midday to like 11:59 in the morning, and then you have that 1 minute where it could potentially talk to you if it chooses to and say like the microphone is off. But
And
otherwise
she
it won't.
sometimes does it at like 3 in the morning. I've had go off at my place.
Yeah, but if you're in the Google app, you can put in your sleep periods, like silent periods.
See, but then you got to put your life into a fucking cloud of a device that I don't like to do.
No, what you do is you go from 12:00 p.m., right, to 11:59 a.m. And then you have that.
Oh, shut up.
So you have 23 hours and 59 minutes of shut up.
She's got 1 minute to talk.
Yeah. And that worked. That worked well on my BeoSound 1 when I had it.
Yeah, I have the BeoSound one, but it's the old generation ASC board. Like it doesn't have anything.
That's honestly why I went back to like a first generation BeoSound 2, because like there's no possibility of it ever talking to me. And
Yeah.
yes, the BeoSound 2, Mark 2, and Mark 3 sound better. I understand, but it's in my kitchen. Quite often, like a fan will be on, or toasters are on, or coffee machines are running. Like
It's
I
more or less
don't
to look
care.
at than listen to. That's what it is.
Yeah, they don't look really any different other than the top, but I'm not
Yeah.
like going like ooh, like that all the time.
No, but they're like I said, it's more look at than listen to in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Something that just looks cool, and yeah, it doesn't matter how it like. Well, it sounds great anyways, but it doesn't matter really when you have all this stuff going on. Sink and coffee machine, whatever. Like you barely hear anybody talk, let alone the radio.
Yeah, like so. I just also on a personal level, I don't like unneeded microphones in things dotted around your house. It's bad enough that you carry a phone with you all day long.
Paul says the Google level and non-Google level. He's got both of them. The non-GVA still has the lights on it. Admittedly, it don't work. But do you think they'd remove them? No, they can't, because the Google lights is actually what conceals the ribbon cable that goes into the touch panel that backlights the buttons. That is the only contact point between the frame with the LEDs and the machine itself. So no, senor, can't do that. That's why. But yeah, the lights are there for because they're there.
I mean, I'm thinking potentially of getting another BeoSound 2, maybe the Mark III, if there's another deal going on at like Drop or whatever the fuck it's called, or Amazon.
Hmm.
I kind of don't need it, but I do like them.
They look great. BeoSound 2s look great. I still like the BeoSound 1. I like the piano one that I got. That one looked very elegant.
Oh, I agree. It's just I prefer the BeoSound 1 in terms of looks, but the BeoSound 2 sounds a lot better. And in the end,
Yes.
I never ever moved my BeoSound 1.
I did in the old apartment. I used to bring it to the balcony till I made a speaker position or speaker tune for on the 90s to just turn the basically to the outside and forget it.
Yeah, I guess it was just too precious, right? Like, because like it's kind of soft aluminium on those, so you kind of have to like hold it kind of and be sort of gentle with it because
I
it's
always held it by the tweeter
yeah,
underneath.
but it's easy to scratch, right? Like that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, and by
Well, if
but
you have
like
rings,
not with
yes.
your hands, but like if you put it down somewhere outside, like I don't know, have it on the outside table where you eat. Let's say a knife falls off or something. Like,
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. It's not something that you just beat around the bush with, but
and
and
I have
especially the bottom edge, because I've seen people just trying to unplug it or power cycle it, they fuck up the rim because they tilt it too far, and then now they're riding on the edge of that aluminium. No, I completely understand. But for me, the battery, yeah, didn't make ever did make any sense. But I like the form factor, and I like the fact that the battery was heavy enough that the speaker didn't dance as much as the BeoSound 2. Because I find BeoSound 2, at least the first gen or iteration of it, I found it was too light when you had the music cranked that it almost lifted itself.
yeah,
So so that was the only thing that I had against it at the time.
but I drag my A5 everywhere. And that's just a great speaker. Like, also the handle makes it a lot easier, and it's like there's a lot bigger flat space, right? Like, you're gonna really have to want to tilt that thing over to like plop it on its side. Like a BioSound 1, not so much. Like you can do sort of.
BeoSound 2. I tell people, you know what? If you're wearing a watch, take it off and just put it on your in your hand like a baby, and then that's how you unplug it and plug it. Because then you have no fear of fucking things up and scratching it and whatever, because just the way you hold it. So yeah, it's all about caution. And for me, like I rarely touch a client's product with my bare hand. Rarely. It's always with gloves. I don't leave fingerprints. I don't have to worry about shit. And also looks 100 times more professional when you're doing it with gloves.
Lightning waves is driver failure common in BLab 50s? No.
No, no.
Have a brand new BLab 50 with driver failure on woofer.
Hold on.
Is that your diagnosis or like the install guy slash tech that made that diagnosis? I mean, it can happen. I'm not saying it can't, right? But is it the woofer or is it the amp that decided to die? If that is what it is, right?
That's right. And what
Because
shape is the driver? Did the driver get punctured or
yeah,
send the pictures on Discord, man?
I
There's
mean,
no point to waste time on it to speculate
is
because
the
it could be a
brushed
whole bunch of things.
aluminium on top plate looks like scratched up? Hard to say because it does have sort of scratch patterns naturally.
Yes, the diamond polish has micro scratches in it,
Uh,
just like they all do.
it
Just like
is
they all do.
almost like brushed aluminium with one of those wheels with like one or two hairs of metal on it, where they just go. Okay, we're done now.
It's diamond. The diamond polish does leave. It's completely shiny, but I think they do brush diamond polish, just like on the 18s when it's still a mirror finish, but if you look closely, you see the grooves of the polishing process.
Yeah, all mine have like they're all very smooth and they're all very shiny from afar, and then you like look over them and you see sort of little hairs almost.
Yes.
But it's not a lot of them. It's more like,
It's very subtle.
yeah.
It's very subtle. No, I like it. I like it.
And in terms of like driver failure, I'd be surprised if it was the actual driver. It could be. It could be in like transport where somebody does that with it, right?
I would suspect it's the board.
Yeah. Serge said had a broken woofer, did not play at all. Yeah, but again, is that the woofer or is it the amp? Or is it the wiring? Or like it could be
The
that
wiring is
even
very
when you do
unlikely,
that,
yeah.
right, like the like a solder point breaks off or something.
But it could be the driver failure, because if it's the driver failure, that's very, very simple to replace, because that could be done from external.
Yeah. The board's
Externally, rather.
replacement is actually also quite easy on 50s.
Yeah. That they all flip down. Like it's pleasure to work on the speakers.
They actually thought about that for once.
I am so glad that I haven't had the pleasure yet. So all our 50s are rock solid, man. I had been inside the 90s.
I mean, I must say, like, 50s are surprisingly sturdy with how my original pair was brought here. Because they took the bottom pallets off, they put them on their sides, and then, like, pothole central, they probably put 50 boxes on top of side laying 50s.
Fuck, if you took him through here to Montreal, your lenses would be spilt out. Montreal potholes, no surviving for sure.
It all survived. I am amazed to this day that everything survived.
No, they're built tough as shit. And if you look at the boards, man, especially the amplifier and power supply boards, I'm not talking about the little PCBs for inputs and the actual processing board, but everything's thick goops of silicone around all the capacitors to make sure they don't move one bit in the cabinet when the music is playing. Even though, like on the 90s, that's separate, everything's sealed off, right? So I think the worst job to have on the 90s is to feed the initial speaker wires with those fucking plugs through the metal chassis from one wall to the other side. Because I've looked at those. I don't know how. I think they're actually like inject molded on spot. Because there's no way, man.
Yeah.
Because how much pressure those things put out, it's insane.
I'm thinking potentially of a worse job on the 90s.
What?
After moving them, and it turns out that 2 of the rubber feet are shattered, and you have to replace the rubber feet.
That'll be a pain in the dick.
Like, it's external, but
I don't even know how you would address that. I think the only way that you could do that is take off the crowns and just tilt the speaker enough. Because if you tilt it too much, you touch the crowns, aluminum on the ground. You'd have to remove the crowns. Because I don't see any platform that would hold it steadily on 3 legs and one you're operating on, and the other one's still messed.
Maybe you need to get like 3 14-inch mattresses, right, and just lay the whole thing down.
But I think I don't even know what Allen key it takes, and I'm sure it's an Allen key that you screw on a new foot. I never really ventured, but I always had respect for that. But they come with the carpet slides. Like, they actually have these plastic pads that come in that you can slip on the feet, and you can move them around the carpet if you want a little bit. They also center themselves on the pallet. So I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious to get my speakers out.
Yeah, but like some people don't always get moved by B&O custom people, like I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was there to like tell these fuckers like, you don't do X, Y, Z. But my movers essentially said, if we don't pack it and we don't move it, it's not insured, no matter if you insure it or not. So it's that was interesting.
Yeah, for me, the only question that really is that where can I put the container that I'm going to be allowed to do, right? A, B, it needs to be at the point where there is no stairs.
Yeah.
and direct access to the elevator.
Well, everything is single story pretty much in Florida if you have a home.
Yeah, I know. I'm on the 6th floor.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I also got apparently I just updated my theater to beta software just to see if there was any improvement
Really?
to be had, and then Sandeep comes with his story of like essentially you lose every warranty and or help. So I was like, damn it. But so they're working on stuff for the theater, stability improvements, whatever the fuck that means, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they always,
let's see.
like even in the beta app, test bug fixes and stability improvements. Start testing. It's like, but what am I testing?
Yeah, yeah.
Like also, how do I take a screenshot of a crash? Like how does one do that?
You don't, more or less. So you're in a 4.1 software?
Yeah,
Shit, I don't even see that in the.
yeah, it's beta.
Yeah, I don't even see it in my service tool.
I again, this is very generic because it says corrected repair process for level and emerge. Like, what does that have to do with the theater? It seems general Mozart software in that case. Uh, Fixed issues for room calibration. I don't also know what that means. Are we going to a different standard of room calibration again?
Hmm.
Are we slightly tweaking EQ curves with that? I don't know. But from launch to now, stuff has definitely changed.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I mean, for the
100%.
better, I would say, but
Fixed line and issue detection issue. See, there wasn't a goddamn problem with the line in.
we're honest. You are the only one. We've never heard of this. We're working on it.
I don't even. Honestly, that's why I stopped trusting line input, man. If people don't have a line in whatsoever, I go and disable line sensitivity completely. Fuck off. You don't need that. You don't even need to see this on the remote control. Like, if you're not having anything plugged in, don't make it a thing. Which also bugs me that people don't delete the sources for people when they install the product. It's mind blowing. Why do you have to have all the apps in the LG panel on your Veo Remote One for no goddamn reason? So
Yeah, I really don't know. These release notes, though, are, I would say, sus. Very suspect because, like, half of them are
mhm.
not about the theater when it clearly says Biosound Theater update. And it's like room calibration, but also level and emerges. So is this for room calibration for level and emerges, or is there an issue with the theater and room calibration, or like what are we doing?
Also, connected display should show in no WPL speakers connected. Like, what does that mean? In the app, it shows all the freaking speakers in the showroom that are apparently, well, they're connected. They're not available. It shows all of them for some reason, and it auto connects to the speakers that are available, anyways.
I don't think they do
So
for all people all the time. But it seems
that
more
could be
like
the
a
case.
general Mozart beta update than anything else.
Hmm.
Like, yes, it was uploaded to a theater, but it's probably coming to everywhere. I mean, this is a weird bug, right? Address product crash when selecting previous track on Tidal.
Yep.
Wait, you've
And
had
other
those?
minor bug fixes. I had it on. I had it on Deezer, but I did never really played with Tidal that much. And I guess we're still on the push for Deezer in the shop, but I think that culture will slowly have to change because it's changing as well with BNO. I think I think the Deezer is going to be supported for another 2 to 3 years, dude, and they're just going to slowly, quietly go away from it, just like they did with TuneIn Radio and
Am
Spotify,
I
more or
being
less.
annoying if I want an explanation for that from them?
No, not at all. I don't think it's fair to not have an explanation, but we'll never get an explanation. It's just for the reasons. I think if there's explanation, it's going to be a horseshit explanation of a fact that we're moving in because of the sound quality is much better sound quality in Tidal, which I give them that, I guess, with the Dolby Atmos and all that jazz. Yes, but why did now it if you have a BNO account and let's say you do a Deezer or Tidal and you log in through the like, shouldn't it give you a little bit more of a deal for on the app? Or I guess they don't care because you already are supposed to be a high net worth individual, so you shouldn't really worry about $18 a month for music.
Yeah, fuck you. There's no upside to being with us, actually.
That's the only thing that I because like I've been Deezer member for a long time now. Also, I'm wondering which is it gonna work with the BeoSound 2 or I mean BeoSound 1. I don't remember if the title is on it yet. I think so.
On
I
the
think it is.
ASC, probably isn't. Is it?
I'll have to check.
I mean, it's
I'll
not
have to
on the
check
moment
M3
for
at my
sure.
girlfriend's. No, moment's dead and forgotten, man. The moment I'm gonna unpack and I'm gonna most likely use it as an IR receiver for my gateway for my BeoTime. I think that's the only purpose that thing's gonna do or fulfill.
But I kind of got used to these because of them. And it's sort of like, I'm like, do the M3s do Tidal and stuff yet natively? Or
I didn't check. I'm gonna go to my girlfriend's and check it because she's got an M3.
or
That I
is it
gave
only
her.
via the app and like the back button no longer does anything? I don't know.
The back button no longer really does much as far as well, you can, with the volume you can skip the tracks when you hold the back button, right?
Hmm.
But on its own, I don't believe. I think you can still join.
Yeah. I think you can still start a playlist.
But I don't remember because I know that, well, in her place, I had it set up as a master speaker, right, in the bedroom. And then the TV, the V1 basically just takes the music sources away from it, which makes sense because there's no streaming engine in the V1, which is kind of weird. It's capable of all of it, but it doesn't have it allowed or done. So I'm sure they came with the deal or some agreement with the title. For sure they did. But a lot of people have been asking for it for a long time.
Look, if this is an and deal, we're now also doing this. I have no problem with this, right?
No, neither do I.
But
if it's a replacement.
Yeah, they clearly say on the website that they even want to push existing customers into Tidal now. And for a brand and a company that doesn't like change that much, this is a strange change.
Well, but the changes are pretty quite inconsistent and they're bad. Obviously, yes, they're fixing it from the app perspective, but it's been I would say most of this year, a complete suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been 8-9 months of like it started in December or end of November last year.
Yeah.
And we're getting out of it, but we're still like halfway into shit, right?
It takes too much too long, too much time, in my opinion. Way too much time. So,
I mean, there should be some stuff announced in the next week or so. So, unless that has been changed, so I guess that is good. But I just like, other than like we're changing, please tell me why. Like, even if the argument is stupid of like it's so much better sound quality, right? It's like, okay, but tell me that then.
But for me, it's the same. I agree with the point that Sandy was making in the chat. Why they seemingly only handle one integrated service and not multiple escapes me. Everyone else can. Yes, I guess you can kind of sort of use it, right? But it's more or less like if you want to use it through the BeoLink environment, there is only a few places or a few ways to do it. But I guess nowadays you can stream whatever into anything, and it's just you can join the other room or the other product with it.
Yeah.
So but still, I completely agree. Like, we've been crying for title. I remember people crying for title when BioSound 5 was around still, with the BioMaster 5, when the Spotify fucked off, right? Because
Yeah.
that wasn't B&O's fault. That Spotify just pulled the plug and pulled the carpet from underneath everybody's feet, including, I think, Ford
But
and
if that's
some
the
other brands.
explanation, right, I can perfectly live with that. If they say Deezer are becoming dicks to us, okay.
Yeah,
I
people
understand.
completely understood that. Yeah, but it kind of robbed the very nice feature off the system.
Yeah.
That's definitely the sad part, that obviously was too old and to not care much about it from the B&O's perspective, that they didn't really integrate. Like, they probably could have done the same thing with the Deezer Connect, or Deezer, somehow get the Deezer in there,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously that never happened. So yeah, I completely agree. There should be more work done.
I mean, even if you look at the press release, it kind of says nothing. It's mostly meaningless. Like Bang & Olufsen title partnership, high-res music exclusively to Bang & Olufsen customers. Like, really? Exclusively? If it is an exclusive, right, surely there's an upside that other people don't get. Like a deal, better music, different
Well,
formats, something like that.
no, it just works better. It just works, actually, in our app.
I have a fully integrated and easy access to high-res, lossless, immersive spatial audio formats with Tidal. God, we're gonna get an MQA update and fuck everything up or something.
I'm actually surprised that LG is incapable of, like, they get completely ditch the Windows Media Audio files.
Yeah, licenses.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That sucks, because I have, like, the entire BioSound 5 library on it. Goddamn, let me get a beer. I got the entire BioSound 5 library on it.
Yeah, but half of these audio formats, the whole thing where we get stuck on is you have to pay somebody to be able to play them.
Yeah, that's stupid. But why does it not do that for the MP3s?
Because it's a generic codec.
It's only the Windows Media Audio? Fuck, like, dude, I have like
Well, it's
700
literally the
gigs of
brand
music.
name is in the name of the codec.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like ALAC, so to speak.
Yeah. So, like, it's all fucking licenses all the way down, right? And it's like, like, they have to make a decision, like, how many people are actually using this shit? And
Mm-hmm.
what does it cost? And, like, if, I don't know, let's say under 5% of people with an LG TV will ever use this, what
It's too many already,
will
but
they use it over the TV, or is pass through good enough? And like have a third party receiver do it.
hmm.
And if that's the case, then good, fine, whatever. Like, we don't need to make these TVs like 10, 15, $20 more expensive every time.
Yeah, yeah, it sucks. Because if I could, I would. Well, I still have a BioMaster 5 that I could dump all this shit on.
Mm-hmm.
But then it doesn't work like a music server without the BioSound 5 screen, which I don't have. That's at my mama's house. I left it there.
Yeah.
She's got the full system, and I'm gonna leave it there because the BioMaster 5 is built inside the BioVision 9.
I mean, I don't really know, other than like Tidal offering Atmos, what the benefit is of Tidal over Deezer.
Not much. Like, I've been listening to it here, and like, yeah, you have to have it. If you have it in Atmos mode, you have to run it through direct. The true image collapses too much for me here.
Yeah, but is the non-Atmos track on Tidal, is that a better track than the non-Atmos track on Deezer?
I did an A to B. I could not tell the difference.
Like, is it a higher bit rate? Like, is there anything that points into like why Tidal is better?
I think
Or
I
is...
would be able to answer that more or less once I move and let's say I put the 90s up, so I have a proper stereo system set, and then I'll do the A to B comparison for the two streaming platforms. But I think that Tidal, might sound better based on how much more bit rate it offers.
I mean, maybe, but like nobody really tells you these things, right?
No.
Like it's even not actually mentioned in here that Tidal. It says high quality, but it doesn't say that it's a higher quality.
No, and it's
It talks about audio formats, which to me implies Dolby Atmos for music. But like, surely at some point, all of these other, like even Deezer is probably at some point going to offer Dolby Atmos for music.
I wonder if they would or do, because it's never been that I've heard of. I've never heard of it as a topic or a discussion that they would have offered that.
Well, again, it's just a license, right? Like, and like, I bet you they're sitting back a bit, going like, is this a fad or is this an actual thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because let's face it, like anything that is made 2 years or longer ago has to be remastered into Atmos. Because there's no native Led Zeppelin in Atmos. That has to be redone.
They wouldn't even know what that was.
Yeah. So like it'll create a bunch of work for a bunch of people, right? But again, which is not bad necessarily, but I mean, are the audio purists really going to care? Because like somebody like John, right, who says I must have 2.0 for the perfect like whiskey record. Like, are we now going to get Atmos on the, like it must all be analog? Or those people are going to go, no, I must have Atmos now? I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. I what's the point of it?
I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong, right? But I don't think it's like there's a reason, like in the hardcore audio world, like big speakers and vinyl still is around, and analog in general.
I think it's just the same gimmick as it was with a 7 point from 5.1 went to 7.1 and 7.2 per se, right? It's just push more speakers to people. It's a better experience, of course, but yeah, man.
I mean, for films, more speakers make absolute sense. For music, not so much.
Speaking of movies, I went to see the Alien, the new one. What the heck is it called now? Not Rumsfeld, something R. It was pretty okay. I don't know. The new movies are weird. Sound was great, but they had this. It's not even a spoiler, but I just found it very funny. They had this android, like they always have that one synthetic person, right? In there, like the first one was like, gushing the blue or white yogurt out of him when it got split in half. He actually made it back. It's the kind of a poor CGI version of him. But that dude, like, it reminded me, he was crashing so many times. I'm like, dude, like, he must be running like BNO inside or something, because the guy was fuck every time we go hit or something, just and she had to go power cycle him through the neck. I'm like, oh, this. I'm like, this is yeah. It was that was the funny part about the movie, I guess. But not bad.
When was it? Thursday, I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Was it okay?
It was good fun. It's sort of a
corny.
No, it's not corny. There's a lot of cringe jokes on purpose, but there's also a lot of self-deprecation in it, and it's also there's at least 4 or 5 jokes in it that are at the actual live Ryan Reynolds expense, where like they break the fourth wall and essentially say, like, that film Ryan Reynolds did was really fucking shit. Essentially.
That's funny. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna probably go see it as well.
I mean, I liked it. I wouldn't say like it's like a masterpiece of cinema or anything, but it's very good fun. It's very easy to watch. If you look around, there's so many fucking sort of pulls from other movies. Like you see, like whenever they're in like a house, right? There's like a magazine on the table when like Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman were the sexiest man alive, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
magazine that's on the table.
That's funny.
Because it like they don't like they're not those people in the film, but those sort of elements are in the film.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
so weird. I have to see it. I
and
have
then
to see
there's
the.
weird like references to like the Wolverine, aka Hugh Jackman, being an Australian, but he's not Australian in the film. And then there's other things like Canada jokes, but Deadpool is American, but like still gets offended at the Canada jokes because Ryan Reynolds is Canadian.
That's right. That's right. I think he's from Vancouver, isn't he?
I think so.
I think so. I think that's where he's from. But
So,
yeah, I don't know, man. Like the movies, even the sound quality now, like I would rather watch it at home, dude. Even if it's a 65-inch screen versus that big one, the colors are too washed out for me. I don't know. It wasn't that impressive.
oh, I have a huge AMC theater here. First time I went to it, it was a weekday, and I guess we were like one of 20 or two of 20, something like that. So we sit smack dab in the middle of the thing where like these chairs leaned like this. They had
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
and like if you laid like this, like it was perfectly middle viewing,
Hmm.
and the sound was good, but it's better at home.
Right. You should run a poll how many people like their sound in the house more or less than they like it in the theater or a movie
It's
theater.
there was like the sound system was actually pretty decent. Like there was very good separation in the channels and all that.
Hmm.
Um, it's just you can hear when like shit got loud, it was stressing a bit. Not necessarily distorting, but it became a bit muddy. And it's just
Hmm.
something you like, at least in my setup, I don't experience at home.
No, I don't think many people running current BNO or current-ish BNO will ever experience that.
No.
Like if you run on old school setup with the 18s or 17s, you probably have a sub with your Avant or the Harmony, whatever you have, or Horizon if you're crazy, and and yeah, they never stress out, man. But yeah, that's one thing that the sound is never the same, and it's the movies are like fuck, man. Like I have speakers that are, they not cheap, but they definitely make better sound and acoustic experience for my personal self in where I'm sitting from this couch than I have, sharing this shit with the people in a theater, and then you can't really pause it to go piss.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's just
the missus was saying like we're basically coming here for the enormous screen. So I
yes,
said, but like if you think what's in your peripheral vision, because you look out and like most of it is screen, right? We could just
yes.
sit closer if we wanted to, or get like the 97-inch LG. And she's like, 97-inch LG? And it's like, yeah, I'm waiting for the price to come down a bit.
Fuck, it's already seed was planted. But it just makes sense because you need big picture with the big sound that you have.
Yeah,
Sound is half the picture, and it's a pretty big sound from two pairs of 50s plus, what, six 17s or three pairs of 17s.
yeah. So 6 17s, 3 pair, yeah. And potentially a 19, apparently.
Fucking, I don't know, why would you do that? Put it on the ceiling mount, the fucking thing, bro.
Yeah, that's hard with like our paper walls and ceilings here.
Gavin and STB will do it for you. You can do something.
Yeah, that's slowly just gonna wiggle and make a massive hole in your ceiling. You
I
need
don't think it moves at all. I don't think it would wiggle.
upside
I think it would
down,
be fine.
maybe.
No, no, it'd be fine. It'd be just fine. Make like
Uh,
a BeoLab 4 click bracket, just click. Have a little, B&O's famous for those little plastic goofy release tabs that they break off, or you can't snap them off for the life of it. And it's on the white wall you can't lean on. It's always fun.
Yeah, I guess I'll just attach it and see what it does, if anything, or maybe I'll just make a separate speaker group with just 17s and a 19 or something.
I'm actually hoping that I didn't. I don't remember what I did with my BeoLab 4s. I don't know if I sold them or not. But if they are in the box somewhere, I'm gonna probably mount them somewhere as heights in the setup.
I can't recall you telling me you sold them. I can recall you telling me you sold some covers for them, but not the actual speaker.
I don't think I sold the actual speakers. I had a few of them, but I didn't think I sold those. Shit, I don't remember, man.
You can always get some 3s or 17s.
No. I have 18s, and then the 90s are gonna be fine. I can't put anything in the ceiling because it's just straight ceiling is made of concrete, right? It's an exposed slab.
Double-sided tape.
Fuck you. I'm not doing that. I could put some Tapcon screws in, whatever, but then how do you deal with the power, right? You still have, to bring it somewhere, and it's gonna look like shit. So that's
put some Christmas lights on the power cable, so it looks like it's intentional.
Oh man, no, there's no way. Run him off the Christmas lights. No, I'm not gonna do that in this apartment when I move there. I'm just gonna set everything up to. I'm hoping that I won't stay there longer than a year. Because 2 years, 3 years is enough for sitting here on my ass. It's not that I'm not doing what I don't like to be doing. I love what I do, but it's just I'd rather do it somewhere where I can understand people around me fucking talking in English. I just, I don't mind. I just don't like the Quebec stuck ignorance of like, I'm gonna speak to you French regardless, right? Like after hi, how are you? I'm good. Where the fuck do you stop talking French to me and just speak English? Because you know that I'm not switching. I have nothing to switch to. Like, I'm not being a stubborn dick. Look at your cell phone. I called you from downstairs. It's a 403 number. I'm from Alberta, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some people are. It's just that Quebec ignorance about, oh, you don't speak French, or you're not from here. You're not from here either, colleges. So nobody's from here.
Yeah, that's the thing French-speaking people do. They will stick to French until you acquiesce, essentially.
So, yeah, I guess the funny thing is that it's a gift, because if we go to a client that talks a lot, I can completely ignore that. Like, I don't understand what they're saying, first of all, because I can just turn it off. So it's a blessing. I can just concentrate on my work, where I can see the other guys just, like try to open all the filters to just pass through, but it's not. Shit's catching. So yeah, I don't have that issue.
By the way, another thing I saw on Discord, I don't know if other people saw, but like, it seems like B&O is sort of on Facebook is like advertising some of their things, but it seems like AI generated images or something.
Yeah, that looks pretty thick for a stage.
Like, this one is even worse. But like, it means sponsored by B&O, right? Like what the hell's going on?
I think they're hacked or something.
Well, it makes me think of our same complaint that we had last week with like all these special color editions where like the actual picture you take doesn't match at all with what's on the website.
No, it does not. No, not at all.
Like, getting a white box or a soft box or something is not that hard, and like, surely somebody has
most professional photographers have it in their atelier, right? Speaking of atelier edition.
Like, what the hell happens to that picture before it gets to the website, where it's like so soft that and altered that it's not even actually representative of the color anymore?
Oh, it's not even close.
Like, is it like, at this point, I'm wondering, is it just a rendering?
Of course. I think it's way cheaper to do it. It's cheaper to do renderings than actually take pictures of the product that is staged, because then somebody would have to take it out of the fucking box.
Yeah, take it out the box. Actually take a picture of something that
is like, for real.
Imagine if like your configurator on like BMW, Aston Martin, whatever, right? And you put in blue, and like it's like full on 5 tones different in real life after if you paid for it.
Fuck.
You
Oh,
go
you're
like,
pissed.
what the fuck? Like,
Oh,
what
you'd
is
be
this?
pissed.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Like you order like midnight blue and you go to the dealer once it's there and it's like, oh, it's baby bluish.
They do have pre-production models. They look like final products, more or less. But that's like if you look at Stevens from Sounds Heavenly videos that he did at Thorsten Valur's studio, they actually work with real materials.
Yeah.
It's this nonsense that like I think that they obviously have the renderings of it because they CAD it all up for the milling, right? So and they know what the final dimensions are because they obviously have those micro precision testers, right, with those little crystal things that tuk tuk. So they know exactly the dimensions of it, and I don't know if those are imported or they just are skinned in the CAD with the wrong materials, or they can replicate the machine grooved anodized aluminum in that accurate of a way. Because to me that looked like a silk finish
Yeah.
almost.
It pretty
So,
much
but
is on the
everything
website.
was, yeah, at least everything. I don't know if everything, but 90% of their stuff that is designed, it's designed in real, with real aluminum or metals or objects. Like when they were doing the design of the theater, it's the same thing like when they were doing the 90s, right?
Look, in contrast to it, right? The Ferrari edition is pretty close to real life on the website.
Yes. But maybe was it because of the Ferrari's licensing that they said no, we want to have an
I
actual
don't
product
know.
picture?
Maybe it's an actual fucking picture.
That's
Just
what I'm saying.
in
Like
like white boxes, right? Like white
yeah,
sheets around everywhere
exactly.
in light.
Because to
But
me, that is looking like a regular photo if you compare it to something else.
yeah. Like, I don't understand with your atelier things that are even more expensive than this thing is. Why you wouldn't give it the same treatment? Like, where you can actually gauge the color. Like, and yes,
Hmm.
you'll have variation because, like, whatever screen you're looking on, it has its own color temperatures and shit.
I honestly don't think that for the money that the B&O is asking MSRP for the Atelier version, we're not gonna. There's no way we're gonna be able to sell them for that money.
No.
There's not enough.
Maybe a few, but not
Well,
more than
no, we only have
5.
4. There's 250 stores, each will had a set.
Oh.
So once that set is sold, that's it. Like I'm surprised they didn't number them if they're 250. But yeah, we only have those 4. But there's no way they're gonna sell for that much money.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I'd rather buy the
Especially the
Ferrari
honey,
one.
especially the honey one. Honey is very close to either like the bronzestone and golden, and very close to golden. And why would you even bother buying it
2x
for
the
that much money? But
price.
you can get yeah. Like why? Because the sticker says on the box. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna ever see the sticker on the box because usually people throw it out. I guess if it's that expensive, you keep the fucking box. But I don't know.
Lightning
I'm at the
Wave asked if I'm going to buy BeoLab 90s or happy with 50s. Well, I kind of made my bed already with having 2 sets of 50s now.
yeah.
Like, there's not really a reason to go to 90s. Also, they're so goddamn expensive now.
That and I'm slowly realizing that just moving them, bro, moving them is an absolute disaster. Like if you live somewhere where you have your, high net worth individual house fucking set up that you're gonna live there for 20 years, take them, buy them. Fuck, who cares? Make them bring them downstairs even too, whatever. But if you have to do it like I'm doing it, and I've had them for 6 years without any problems till I decided to move to Florida. Then shit got all messed up a little bit. So I don't really have to unpack them, but I want to unpack them because fuck you. 2 years, 2 years without the 90s is a long time, especially now that we have a set in the showroom. I want to listen to mine.
I mean, if an opportunity comes up, if somebody says, I'll trade you my 90s for 50s with some money, then maybe I'll think about it. But I kind of don't want to. I mean, at the moment, right? And most of that is that I'm pretty sure it's not going to be within 2 hours drive. And even if it is within 2 hours drive, like I'm going to have to rent cars or trucks or whatever the
Oh
fuck.
no, you're thousands of dollars into it to transport. Thousands of bucks, man. Because you're probably gonna end up hiring a local moving company to load them the fuck on. Because there's no way you're just gonna pick them up, two of you, on the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Forget it. Forget it. Unless you have a forklift and you're gonna rent that now, or you're gonna bring four guys to try to muscle them the fuck into a rented U-Haul.
I mean, in Europe, you have like the Mercedes Sprinter vans, right? Where, like, yes, you have a lifting lip, but it's below your knee. Any sort of U-Haul sort of situation here is
They
like
don't
hip
fit.
height.
They don't fit in the Home Depot van.
Yeah,
By
but
the way,
the bigger one are like all hip height, right? So you have to like lift this shit like that.
well,
high.
they have a ramp. They have a ramp, but the ramp is bullshit.
Yeah, it's that inclination. Like, fuck no.
A, B doesn't go all the way in because it slides out, so you still have a hop of like 2-3 inches to. Yeah, I know that's like you basically just run them up and slide them off the dolly as you go.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love 90s, right? But like, there, I think visually the 50s are prettier. They work with more things. The 90s, especially in black, are very present and they're huge. They're sort of.
They're dominating the room right away.
Yeah, they're not very tall. I think if you look in pictures, you think they're tall, but they're more sort of like.
They're stouty. They're very stouty.
Yeah. They're sort of like the dwarves in Lord of the Rings, right? Like they're like.
Yeah. We're here to play music. Hard.
And they make incredible sound. For what I mostly, if I'm watching things or enjoying my setup, I watch films. I don't think they are actually that much better for that specific purpose. Like when I listen to music, loud is fine enough generally.
Mm-hmm.
Like there needs to be like I can bear MP3s, but I mean there needs to be a minimum of quality in the audio. But I almost never sit there like straight up like within that little box you make and go, yeah, like that's not just something I don't do.
Mm-hmm. I do that.
Yeah,
you know I do that. So,
but that's where like 90s shine, right? Over 50s. Like,
oh,
yes,
100%.
they also
that
make
little,
a lot more bass, but I have fucking 4 of them. Like, what do I need more bass for?
you don't at all. No, the 90s, that box of sweet spot and the accuracy of it is substantial. It's substantial. It is better than in the 50s. But if like your perspective is general use case, 50s, fuck, you can have 2 pairs for the price of one set of 90s, and today it still stands true.
You can have 3 pairs for a set of 90s.
Well, if you go all stupid and just buy, the Mercedes cover with the walnuts.
Even so, like that comes to like 60-ish US.
How much are the US? 180? No, 160.
There'll be like 62 or so with the aluminium covers, 63 with oak, right?
Mm.
So, and I think the 90s are like 100, starting from 150 grand. So like you can get almost 3 sets, or you can get 2 sets and a 77-inch theater, BeoVision theater.
Mm-hmm.
And still have money left over for like a set of 8 or something. Actually, you'll probably have money left over for 2 sets of 8s. So you can have 90s, or you can have 2 sets of 50s, 2 sets of 8s, and a BeoVision Theater 78.7.
Fuck. Then we're talking straight retail. I'm sure you could get 2 pairs of Lab 8s for that money.
Yeah, and you also don't have
Like
any
talking to
source
your
yet
dealer.
for the 90s, right?
Yeah, you still need a $1,700 BeoConnect score.
So
Oh shit.
it's a bit like I love 90s, but come on.
For me, the problem is that they should have started them stupid. I should have never been able to buy them for that money when
No.
they first came out. I should have never been able to buy them for that. People are laughing at me, but to me, it's a fucking investment. It really turned out to be a very good investment if I sell them. If not, it's just a very good value place and holder. But the reason why I say that is because you're starting now with 150,000 US dollars for a tech that is crawling to 10 years old. They're at the decade next year.
Yeah.
So, and what are they going to come up with for the next next 100th anniversary? I wonder.
Well, something with 100 in the name is coming.
Well, it's not the headphones. We already established that, I hope.
Let's see.
And it can't be a V100 because that was an Avant from back in the yesteryears. That was their code name for that TV. And V50 was the BeoPlay V140. Yeah, that was.
I'm just doing some math.
What are you mathing? Oh, I gotta take.
I'm just checking monetarily what I said. BeoVision Theater.
Oh, you're adding up the how much you can get to $150?
Yeah.
I thought about it at the BeoLab 5C. I don't think they're gonna come up with them for the 100th anniversary because I think that would be just a dirty dog shit shame, in my opinion. I think that they should come up with an actual memorable product, not the BeoLab 5C. And they're gonna come out with what, 100 of them, because that's like the 100th years anniversary. So only 100 speakers with the brand new chassis and maybe a Mozart platform tied into them somehow to and they would sell for what, at least 50 G's in euros or US for sure. I don't think that that's like, keep the collection shit, but they need to come up with something because the H100s, the cat's out of the bag on those, has been for a while now, and I don't think that those are, we still have one more year cycle to go to get to the 100s. So what are we actually going to be doing for that? I don't know.
I mean, actually, if you forego the oak on the 8s, I'm pretty spot on. For a set of 90s, no source, you can get 2 sets of 50s with the aluminium covers, with BeoLab 8s without the oak covers, and at least a 65-inch or a theater.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't despite that the lap fives are so iconic, but I think that, like, you don't reinvent an icon for 100th year. That's just my opinion. You come up with another icon that's going to stay for at least a decade and promote it better than the 90s. That's what I think. But yeah, that's can you get 2 pairs of 8s? No, just
what?
one for a set of prices 90s and MSRP.
Yes?
2 sets of 8s or just one?
2.
Oh, God, it is.
That's on the basis of like no discount whatsoever on any of like this bulk purchase.
Yeah. Oh, you would get a fucking smooth deal for sure. And then
Hey, I walk in, I want 2 pairs of 50s. Nah, no discount's not good enough. Oh, give me a theater. Oh, and also 2 sets of 8. Can we do anything now?
Yeah, we got a free remote. Oh shit. That's buy 2 for the price of 2. No deal. They had that stereo thing going on. What the hell? Who's in the math department, bro? Come on.
Like, I still don't understand. Like, especially when you go, get a deal now, buy 2. And it's like, it's just twice the price. Like, how is this? Like, how do you dare market
Because
this as
we
the
save on
deal.
shipping.
Yeah.
Combined shipping, bro. Somebody's doing a lot of eBay purchases on in the Mark's office, and they figure, bro, we can do combined shipping. That's a new sale. Let's do it. They had a meeting about it,
I mean, or the
and
Flores on Discord the other day, like, was on, what was it, Amazon or Amazon Netherlands or something like that, and he got essentially 2 A5s for the price of one.
but that was also available in US.
Yeah. So, like, at that point, like, if this is the deal from the manufacturer, like, why would you go to the manufacturer ever if you can get it better from, like, an Amazon?
Yeah, or a
And I
third
bet you,
party
like,
rather.
if you have any dents or delivery issues, Amazon will treat you better.
Yeah, I
Because you
think
can
they would
chat
do,
to them
without
24
question.
hours and they'll, like, we've had a shit ton of stuff delivered now with, like, the house redoing and that sort of thing, right? Amazon has been amazing to deal with in general. Like anything, it's
We're
just
not
like,
sponsored.
yeah, I honestly, I don't like Amazon's business practices, but like around
But they
here,
work.
there is so little other options. Like you can shop local, right? But
Hmm.
if you think to yourself, because since COVID, nothing is open 24/7 anymore, not even Walmart. Like if you
Weird.
think like, oh, I need this thing tomorrow, most likely you can find it on Amazon. Uh,
Hmm.
like 2 weeks ago, I thought, oh, I found this coffee, and I need some coffee. Sunday night, I ordered it around 8:30. It was here Monday morning, 4:30 a.m.
Holy shit!
Like it was here like 8 hours later.
What did the dude have it in the van in the back alley by your house? Shit! Like, how do you get
No,
it so quick?
there's a quite large
Distribution
distribution
center.
center like an hour away.
It's insane how much stuff they got in the distribution center. Like how much of everything is in there.
Oh, I drove. Like the only reason I know this, right? Like because it's like totally like not really visible from the street. We were
Hmm.
driving down this road, and I kid you not, there's like 150 lorries waiting. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's like 150 is probably under, because like when you drove like, and these were on the street, right? Like going into like this thing, and nobody was moving. You look and you see like the line goes even further. It's like, what the fuck is this? So Googled it. Yeah, Amazon warehouse.
That's insane how much the massive product that they have to push through the logistics of it.
Yeah, like and so far with like Amazon, since we are Prime members, like oh, return is free.
Yeah, I've quit with the Prime. And quite honestly, like the stuff that I really need from Amazon are things that I usually are for clients or shit that you can't really buy in the stores. It's easier to just order in. So we just use the store's account because it ends up in clients' places anyways, usually. But
I mean, I
I
need.
stopped with the Prime account because of the commercials in the middle of the movies. No fucking way, man. Done. Out.
Yeah,
Uninstalled it.
I understand, but like we have Prime for getting stuff, right? Because so many things are for us anyway, because of
Mhm.
that thing. Like the difference is like you can have it in 3 days or you can have it tomorrow, and
Makes no sense.
all
Yeah.
almost all returns are free. And
Hmm.
by almost all, I think, let's say we returned like 20, 30 things. There was one where it was potentially going to be charged, but they didn't in the end.
I watched that little article that was a news thing that they followed, like what happens to the Amazon returns, and they actually most of them essentially end up in the landfill.
Well, it
It's
depends on
cheaper.
what it is.
Yeah, it's cheaper for them business model wise. I'm sure that the BNOA5 because the whatever they would not throw it in a dump like that would just go somewhere and somebody would buy it on a pallet of Amazon returns and then go from there. Because that's the thing now you can buy a pallet of Amazon returns and just go through shit.
Yeah. But yeah, but like I've had everything from where very specific things that like even something as large as a Walmart doesn't have, like flat Cat 7 cables for speakers, so I could hide them more easily behind my skirting or baseboards.
Mm.
Like, if that's not an Amazon buy, I don't know what is, right? Plus, they had to be like 35 foot long, which is also a very long run because they like go around the room back to the speakers that way.
Yeah, that's funny. Like how much different shit you can buy on Amazon versus what you can just locally access
Yeah.
or access. I totally agree. Like Amazon makes sense for these things for sure. I've ordered stuff from them for. Well, I ordered B&O through them anyways. I bought my M3 through Amazon back in the day on there was a, what is that, Black Friday, I think it was. Yeah, in 2016 or 17, I don't remember when. So that thing has been around for a long time. But yeah, I didn't pay much. I thought I paid like $400 for it Canadian, which isn't bad. Or it was
For the
260
M3.
because it was, yeah, 260 I think I paid. It was 400 retail something. I paid 260.
God, I've had them so long, I don't remember. I probably have a
Yeah,
bill
neither do I.
somewhere.
Yeah, they still work. It's a great speaker. Sounds better than the M5. We had an M5 yet the other day that people brought in for dropping sound. I'm like, fuck, we had it in the store for a week and a half. Nothing, man. Perfect. Connected to the network. And then we go there this weekend. This week we went there to just a service call, whatever, on Friday. And the young girls, his parents were at home, and like, how do you guys use this? It's like Bluetooth. It's like, yeah. I'm like, no, because you use Bluetooth. As soon as you walk away, it just falls apart, like AirPlay into it. Oh, okay, that's it. That's fixed. Sometimes it's just like investigate how people interact with the product. And
We should have like a millennial slash Gen Z Bluetooth intifada or something like that. Because AirPlay like is just so much better. Like, why is everybody Bluetoothing everything? Like, this should not be the default position in your head. Bluetooth is like,
for headphones,
it's a last resort thing that is okay, but
it's for headphones, dude. It's for headphones and in your car. That's it. There's no other utility for it.
I mean, it's almost akin to getting a butter knife to carve your turkey because that's the knife you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, fuck off. Like, stop using Bluetooth for everything. If there's other options.
People still insist.
Like even Chromecast, like Chromecast AirPlay, all that. It's all better and it's all there.
Yeah, and it works. And with Android, you can actually volume control with your hard keys on the phone. Where I think Apple started doing it now.
Yeah, you can. You've been able to do that for a while now.
But I not in the B&O app. You can't do that.
Nope. No, I used AirPlay for the first time since forever, since Stefan was having an issue and he asked if I had the same issue, and it's like, no. Turns out no.
Harsh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I don't use AirPlay at all. I use very little of streaming services anyways. I used to listen to radio when I'm just about to pass out, and that's about it. But for me, it's more or less the video sources on YouTube. Fuck, I have like 3,000 hours on this TV, if not more.
I really don't know what I'm at. All I know is that like I'm waiting for like at some point that 97-inch panel to become available, or like maybe LG goes like the mini LED, micro LED, whatever.
Route. Yeah, nano LEDs, I guess.
Also fine. Whatever is self-dimming, I'm okay with.
Yeah, I've had this panel. I'm running in more or less like showroom times, for God's sakes. As I get home, I just turn it on. Theater's running. Why not? Fuck it. And now that you can just swap the panel, who cares? Because the theater's going to last a long time.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to like get a much bigger panel because I have nowhere to go. It's already 83, right? Like the only way is up. Like most likely the G4 is going to be better, but like, do I really care that much
for the same size? Have you ever considered a projector screen? Have you ever considered projecting on a screen?
Yeah, but like you What I love about OLED is not necessarily OLED, but that the pixels themselves go off.
Well, yeah, you don't have that. It's the same, I guess, like in the theaters when it's dark, it's basically still a reflection of the darkest, right? That is
Yeah.
on the screen because you still see the light. But yeah, you can go to some like ridiculous sizes then.
Yeah, but I kind of don't want to because, like, at that point, I just would buy an LCD panel because those are fairly affordable in those sort of sizes,
Enormous sizes.
like the
Yeah, it's just
TCLs of
to
the
me
world
like
and whatnot.
I guess the only thing is the question that theater with you'd have to have an HDMI extender to go into the projector, I guess, for the and then how do you do that? You just have to have all the sources going into the projector, or no, you could do it through the theater as well, right?
Yeah.
Because it could just shoot everything into the projector.
I mean, I thought of one of those laser projectors, but at that point,
Hmm.
it's sort of like you have a downside of like it's not as good during the daytime. And like in Florida, holy hell, it's bright during the daytime, right?
Well, you're a fucking equator, bro. It is pretty bright.
Like
It
it's
is
to the
pretty bright.
point where like the whole house is lit by sunlight when like curtains are drawn.
Yeah, no, I remember it was very sunny in there. Like, it's very very sunny, but and hot too.
Yeah, you get used to it. That I guess. Like the weird thing is that actually was it yesterday or 2 days ago? There was like a cold front, and the cold front that came in was like 29°C or something,
Mm.
and I was like, "Ooh, it's nice out." Whereas
Cold.
like a year ago, I was like, "God, it's hot."
Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah,
Seems Marley says Bluetooth SIM will be stuck on Mozart products for a decade onwards. Must be strategically sound decision, right? I honestly think you're right a little bit at that because B&O had been reluctant to do Bluetooth connections for ages and ages and ages back in the BeoPlay times.
even in
uh,
the BLAB 1590 times.
it was not much that things could connect to the Bluetooth, and then the Moment was one of the first ones as far as the audio masters that connected Bluetooth. I don't think you could connect into the TVs. I don't remember.
Well, look,
Like the Avant and PV11s.
one
I
of the
don't think so.
most asked questions to dealers about 50s or 90s was, do they have
Do they have
Bluetooth?
Bluetooth? Yes. That's so fucked up.
So
But
I think partially that is where like the Mozart platform came from, right? Because we just have to be able to tell customers yes to everything. Because like, wouldn't you rather say yes than trying to educate them on the spot?
yeah, in
That
my opinion, the Bluetooth and the microphone should never have been a button on the theater, in my opinion, at all. Because at the end of the day, you have a BNO app, so why do you need to Bluetooth stream into it? Like if it's something that it's a business to business deal for the hotels and whatnot, I understand. Fuck, make a separate glass top for it, for God's sakes. You guys done it before for the remotes and whatnot. But I just don't. I don't agree with it. I don't think they've caved it into the Bluetooth thing, but then Bluetooth nowadays, I guess, can run lossless music. I'm not saying 24 192 kilohertz, but it can still run CD quality, like 5.1, 5.2 Bluetooth. You can run pretty good sound quality out of it. So if you're within the reason of the room, then you're fine. But it's still absolutely nonsensical that is something that's a button for. So
I guess the other thing is that if you look around the world, even rich people, the amount of people that still use Spotify for their music, like I
it's
guess
fucking
with
ridiculous, man.
that standard of quality, you can just Bluetooth and you're not really gonna know
You would
anyway.
never know. No, because Bluetooth now can stream better than what the quality is from Spotify coming out.
Yeah. So, but like,
I think it's more or less it's teaching an old dog new tricks. That's where we're at. That people have grown up, especially like my generation and older. Like the holy grail was Bluetooth, man. The first thing that fucking came out was Bluetooth headset, bro. walk around like a dildo with a fucking thing on your head there. And then the Earset 2 came out, which was like a statement of a geek, because that was a huge, but that was Bluetooth. And then the cars became Bluetooth connectable, right? And the Bluetooth speakers came out. And then it just became a trend of things that Bluetooth is the wireless go-to standard for anything on the go, which I completely agree with. But you don't bring that shit into the house. You do it through the network.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Sergey says in theater above 77 can maybe spoke 83 on the floor, then also possible. I think they are, but I
Yes.
think that there is a different. I don't know if the plate changes as well on the bottom of the stand, or it's the same. It can hold, because it looks like it can hold quite a bit.
Oh, my dealer stood on it.
I stood on mine.
Yeah. The TV is not heavier than you are.
No fucking way.
Look, a G3, 4, 83-inch is 35 kilos. Like, you'd be
Yeah.
emaciated if you were that little.
Yeah.
Seems as regarding Mozart, I've hesitated to transition. Got 3 Mozart product this month, and they have created havoc in my AC legacy system.
Yeah, because you probably have a problem with joining stuff in now, because join is completely different than what it was on the older systems.
Yeah.
A, B, if you have Essence remotes, then your top button is not a play or whatever. It's a my button 1. And the bottom button is the pause, which on Mozart, the speakers or whatever that's controlling after 3 or 5 minutes will turn off on its own. Therefore, there is no need for the power button. But why would you need to know that, right? You don't need to know that. It's just you kind of find that out. And long press on the bottom button on the Essence remote will actually initiate all standby commands. So there is this freaking connect completely as far as how the logic goes behind the command structure between that. But yeah, I'm actually very excited to move and unpack the BeoSound 1. And I still have a shape with the core that is old school, but I think I'm just going to sell the core. And if I do put together the shape in my bedroom, I'll put the new Connect core in it and just run everything on Mozart. But however, I may not, because I want to keep it. If I'm going to put the gateway in, then I can still use the link eye from the old core to receive the light commands from the BeoTime, so I can trigger events. Which is weird that you no longer, once you plug in the shape amplifier into the core with the USB, you lose all IR commands except light and control. So I no longer can control the volume, but I can send light 1 or light play or light stop, whatever. It sees that.
That's kind of stupid.
Yeah, and I've asked for that a long time ago, never been fixed, and I don't think it has been fixed, because I'm the only one probably that uses IR with the core.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, people like yourself with the legacy system that replace the link eyes for the new ones, right? And running them into the cores with amplifiers like BOAmp 16 back in the day. I don't know why that is still not being sold. So I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna call it because
We're over time.
Not
2
just
minutes
that,
over
I
time.
also have to go to the loo quite bad because I drank a shit ton of water before we began. So I've been slowly the last 10 minutes going like,
we gotta go. So yeah, everybody have a great week.
Yeah, come join the Discord, go buy stuff at Skinny Play, and hope you all have a good week and see you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.